Hello there, this is Dana Arcuri, author, speaker, survivor, advocate, certified trauma recovery coach, and certified master energy practitioner from danaarcuri.com. If you are new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any new content. And if you are returning, welcome back. It is so good to have you here. Today's topic is about love bombing and the signs of fake superficial flattery. And let's begin with one fact in regards to the dynamics involved with love bombing. A lot of people think this is just something that happens between a boyfriend or a girlfriend or opposite genders, and that is not actually true. So love bombing can happen to you with a male or a female or both. So this isn't just about romantic relationships or a marriage, etc., etc. It's also the dynamics that take place even with mother-daughter relationships, sister to sister, brother to brother, etc., etc. And so first, let's define what love bombing is and then share some facts and credible signs of what to look out for in case someone is love bombing you today. To Cleveland Clinic, they state, love bombing is a form of psychological and emotional abuse that involves a person going above and beyond to manipulate you. And so some of the signs are excessive flattery and praise, over communicating their feelings with you, showering you with unneeded and unwanted gifts, over the top grand gestures, bouncing between compliments and cruelty. Okay, so the big thing that comes up is the covert narcissist and the flying monkeys bounce in the early days. So they're bouncing back and forth between kindness and cruelty and praises and harsh judgments and criticisms. And so at one point it could change and the love bombing could stop and it could just become hoovering, and it could turn into gang stalking and just outright violence. But in the early days is when love bombing takes place. Most of us don't know what's happening when this is going on. And so love bombing is actually coercive control. They want to overpower you. So that's why they're showering you with gifts. They want to win you over. Next, it's very manipulative. So this kind of tactic, very covert, very sly, very cunning. Next is it's very insincere. So they're not genuine in their gift giving to you. So whether it's praises, compliments, gift giving, taking you out to dinner, taking you on a cruise, etc., etc., it's not coming from a place of being genuine nor authentic. Basically, there is a secret agenda and they just want to trick you, people. They just want to trick you. And so they love bomb you. Love bombing is actually another form of baiting and hoovering. It's just they're kind of amping up the side that looks like they're being nice and they're being sweet and they're being caring. Oh, dear God, don't fall for it. Because hook, line, and sinker, many of us have fallen for it. I have fallen for it, but now I know better. Next is that love bombing is really another way to guilt trip you. So they're going to basically say, how dare you call me? And maybe you called them a narcissist. Maybe you called them a sociopath, predator. You may have had many different adjectives you used for them. They're going to guilt trip you and say, everything I've done for you and you just don't appreciate it. And oh, woe is me. And so they go back to playing the victim card, which is very common. They claim that you are the perpetrator and they are the innocent little victim. Don't fall for that either, because we know that is a false accusation. And so I'm going to end with my own personal experiences with love bombing. So for me, it's been with my mother and two of my sisters. And it's interesting how after 5 years of walking away from that very, very toxic, abusive, malicious dynamic in a dysfunctional family, that here it is 5 years later, and I'm finally seeing things that I didn't see before. And after I examine it, take a close look and inspect it, I come to see, wow, my mother and my two sisters had bombed me repeatedly for my entire life. One example is in 2006, when my mother flipped the switch on me, and she was known for her Jekyll and Hyde persona. Out of nowhere, she flips out, freaks out, and tries to physically assault me. And I step back and I say, hell no, woman. And I didn't want any part of her. And this is in the early days. Remember, in 2006, there really wasn't much content, valuable resources, or information, especially online, about narcissistic personality disorder, flying monkeys, gaslighting, smear campaigns, retaliation, etc., etc. So we don't know what we don't know, and that's okay. But back then, after she flipped the switch and she tried to physically assault me, I didn't talk to her for about a week. I needed the distance. I needed safe space. And what happened was she calls me on the phone, and she's syrupy sweet. Oh, I'd love to take you to dinner, Dana. Oh, I have these gifts I bought for you. So I believe back then she had a guilty conscience, and she was just trying to overcompensate for her abuse. And I didn't fall for it. Now, for the two sisters, there was one specifically who did love bombing habitually. So she would, out of nowhere, just buy me gifts, take me out to different fancy restaurants, and she'd always try to act like the hero. Oh, she's so sweet. Oh, she's such a hero. Oh, she's the kindest person. But underneath, I believe, again, very guilty conscience. I believe she knew how hateful, spiteful, jealous, manipulative, and vindictive, and just outright toxic she has been my whole life towards me. And I believe she was doing this because she deep down knew how horrible she treated me, and she wanted to cover it up with gifts. We're going to end on this note. Genuine love will never abuse you. You cannot buy love. So if someone tries to use gifts, money, a cruise, a vacation, they buy you a house, they buy you a car, again, grand gestures, regardless who it is, be alert that they're just love bombing you. Don't stand for it. Don't accept the gifts. It's time to get to a point where you set boundaries, you raise awareness, educate yourself about love bombing and all of the signs of abuse, and do what you need to do to take care of yourself. Walk away from those very hostile, hateful, toxic relationships. And I really wish each one of you healthier relationships, safer connections with people who truly love you for you. If you have ever experienced any of this, such as love bombing, share in the comments below. What did they say? What did they do to you? What gifts did they shower you with? Did they flip the switch and act like Jekyll and Hyde? Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and you could reach out to me for support at danaarcuri.com. Thank you and God bless.